Hey, Tony guys here, popping in. Now the other day, something came up on a video. I can't remember what we was talking about. It was on something to do with pop the balloon or something, and we was talking about, and I said that my wife done been through it with my mama and sister, and from there, I only got 20% battery, y'all. Forgive me, I forgot to put my phone on the charger. And from there, women started asking me what I meant by that and all of that. I don't know how that was perplexing or surprising or anything like that, but that's very common in relationships where women are toxic to the girlfriend or wife of their son or brother or whoever it may be. Why, I don't know, other than it just being territorial. Men, we typically would try to be friends and be cool with the guy in the life of our sister or whoever. Like, I got two nieces and they both have boyfriends, and I'm real cool with their boyfriends, and I bless their boyfriends. I help them, you know, in any and every way, whether it's blessing them, just whatever. With a pay for their cruise. They all going on a double date cruise. I pay for their cruise. They come over, I give them a little whatever knockoff shirts they want to need, and try to help them. When I'm in high school, helping with recruiting and all of that. Like, I be trying to be cool with them. Even, you know, with my sister situations, I always try to be cool until things, you know, go left. But one thing you have to realize about men is we feel a burden of having to provide for the women in our life. Meaning, not when I say women, I don't mean multiple girlfriends or wives, although that's the case as well for men who have that. But if a man has a mom, a sister, sisters, and all of that living, then he feels the need to provide for them or help them in some kind of way. And when a man gets a woman, he has to provide for that woman, that wife. And some men may provide for their girlfriend, fiance. And as you might imagine, unless a man is a multi-millionaire, but even if he is a millionaire, he will want to provide for his wife and his kids first, and then help his mom and his sisters, or what have you, grandma, auntie, whatever it may be. So naturally, the fangs come out on women who would be getting financial help, but now cannot get financial help or get less financial help because the man of the family has a woman in his life, and he is buying her clothes, paying for her hair, paying for her nails, paying rent. Whatever he's spending towards her, that's money that can't be spent towards the women in his family. And the women in his family become very territorial. And they get upset with the woman, the girlfriend, whoever. They say little stuff about her. They say stuff to her. They really want to try to break the man up, get the man to break up with the woman, to remove her so that he can continue to help them financially. And even sometimes when it's not financial, they just don't want to lose the man in their life, the man in their family, because he represents theirs. Like, he's their protection. He might be their confidant. It may just be emotional support, emotional security. It may not even be financial. So it's just a thing of feeling territorial. Now, in this situation, what should the man do? the man has to stand his ground, and he has to tell the women in his family that he has chosen this woman that he wants to be with, and if they want to be in his life, they have to be respectful to her. Not only respectful to her, they have to be nice to her when they interact with her. And if they cannot be respectful, then they cannot interact with her at all. And that they will never come before her, because his calling is to his wife, not to his sister, not to his aunt, not to his mom, not to his grandma, not to his female cousins, his nieces. His calling is to his wife. He has to find the balls about himself to express that to the women in his family, so that they know the hierarchy, the order, and the structure. And guess what? As women, they will fall in line. They will submit. They will respect. If he does not draw that line, because they know that he has a soft spot in his heart for them, and he's a softie, and they feel like they have mental control over him, and they own him, then they will not listen to him, and they will try to buck back and continue to be disrespectful and do and say what they want to do. And then he has to show them. He has to show them by cutting them off, not reaching out to them, not answering their text message, not answering their call, keeping him and his woman away from them for a season. That could be depending on how much they talk. If they talk every day, then a week might do it. 2 weeks might do it. If they talk once a week, it might be a month, 2 months, 3 months. And so for me personally, when it happened with me, now I'm a very blunt person, and it's not a lot of men that's like me in that sense. I'm very blunt, and I hurt grown men feelings. I make grown men cry. That's how blunt that I am. And so you can imagine how a woman will feel when I have to tell her about herself. And so I tell, when it happened with me, I told my mama and my sister, I say, listen, don't you ever in your life disrespect my wife again, or you'll never talk to me again. I said, if you disrespect my wife, you disrespecting me. And all this will be cut off. You will be cut off. Car note being paid, house being paid, money being given, all of it will be cut off. Don't say nothing to my wife disrespectful. And so I let them know. And they was upset about it, mad about it. And I told, my mama, she started to joke. You sure take that man to cleave to his wife and forsake his mother and father serious. You sure take that scripture serious. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, what I realized as a man is that I can't do nothing with my mama and my sister. Like that does nothing for my purpose. That does nothing for my legacy. Like I can't, that's not who I'm sleeping with. My wife is who I sleep with. That's who have my kids. That's who carry my kids, raise my kids. That's who matters the most. Like my mom and my sister, that's neither here nor there. Like that part of life is done. Like once you hit 18, your mama, her role and what she supposed to do for you in your life, that part is done. Yeah, she could remain there and remain supportive, and some men live with their mom after 18 and they mama continue to do that. But that's just their failure to launch. That's just them not growing fast enough, or them not finding the right type of job or the right type of situation, so they still need their mom. But even with that, it's like a mom shouldn't feel entitlement to be able to disrespect the daughter-in-law or the girlfriend-in-law or whatever it may be, just because her son still need her. Because that woman that's coming into her son's life have nothing to do with his failure to launch, have nothing to do with him not being able to get a degree or get a good enough job that could pay rent. And some men just don't know, but that's also part of the mom's fault too. If her son living with her after 18, she haven't done the research and talked to him and shared with him, hey, this job right here, it doesn't require a degree, and you could make $50,000 a year doing this, $60,000, $70,000. Like, that's part of raising a child, to help them see what's out there in the world and help them understand career opportunities, career options. But that take doing some research and learning and asking questions and going up to successful men and say, what do you do for a living? You know, can you mentor my son? How does this happen? Like, that if that's what a mom's supposed to be doing, not fussing and fighting and arguing and hating on the girlfriend. Because a man have to grow, and a man got to learn on his own. He gonna figure it out. He got to get played. He got to get cheated on. He got to get used. He got to get abused. Like, he got to go through those things as a man. That's part of becoming a man. And so my wife is not perfect by far, but no human is perfect, and I'm not perfect. And anything she did to me and gonna do to me, I did 10 times worse than her. And so I'm already knowing that. So I don't need protection from the women in my family. I don't need that, because I know what I do and who I am, and then I know who I'm with. And that's what you got to know as a man. And as a woman, you always, if you are a woman and you come into this man's life, always stay respectful. If his mama is disrespectful, his sister is disrespectful, just hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. Don't respond to the text. Don't respond to the call. Don't get beside yourself and feel like it's your place to go off on them or to cuss them out or to fight them or none of that. Just sidestep the power struggle, because at the end of the day, that is his blood, and blood is forever. That is blood forever. He don't have to talk to him or deal with him, but he gonna always be kin to him. Ooh, this person crossing the street and these cars coming around that corner flying, almost lost their life with that buggy, pushing that little buggy. Ooh, better get out the road. About to be minced meat. And so they always gonna be his family, and you got to realize and understand that. And when you sidestep that power struggle, now he get to look at you as a victim. Now he look at you and he see you taking these verbal punches to your head and you ain't saying nothing. And also, you can't let it get to you. Like, don't be crying and all of that, and it's so be to me, I ain't do that to them. Hush, child, hush. You coming into their territory, you coming into their life, you stealing money from the man that provide for them. You taking his time, you taking his energy. You that child, hush. Just, that's what you expect. You know women. You don't even trust women. You don't even barely like women. What you expect? They was finna come in and it just finna be open arms and all of that. Even some of the women who do be open arms and so nice and sweet, they still a stab you in your back. They like to keep their enemies closer. So don't get beside yourself now. Don't expect nothing from women in your man life. Do not expect loyalty. Do not expect love. Do not expect respect. Don't expect nothing from them, because it's a cat eat cat world, just like it's a dog eat dog world. So you sidestep the power struggle. You tell him about it. You let him know about it. Most men today are from the red pill community. They don't trust women. They feel like women are temporary. They feel like no woman is ever your woman. You just got her for that time period. So they're not considering cutting off their mama, cutting off their sister, or whatever woman in their life for you. They're not considering that, really. So when you come in and you expecting carte blanche, and you expecting for them to just want to cut somebody off for you, they're not considering that. because they feel like you temporary. So until you get past that point of no return, until you pass that point to where he feel like you more than temporary, he's not thinking about checking those women or saying nothing to them. So you got to understand that the relationship is between you and him, not you and them. You in there on your bike. You in there on top of him. Y'all having kids. Y'all planning the future. How those women in his family feel is neither here nor there. They can't stop nothing, can't block nothing. The more you cook, the more you clean, the more you... the more influence and power you gonna have in his life. I know that sounds minimal, but remember, this your husband. You have an advantage. He can't sleep with his sister unless he from Children of the Corn. He can't sleep with his mama. Like, that's not their dynamic. Now, for some men, that is their dynamic. Some men, you would never know it. They won't tell you, but some men did grow up sleeping with their sister or sleeping with their mama. And so if you feel like a very, very super duper 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 strong bond, the man probably has been married to his mama spiritually or married to his sister spiritually his whole life. And that's when you have to exit stage left and say, nah, this too messy for me. I'm gonna let this go. You're not worth all of that. It's you a dime a dozen. I'm gonna go on about my business, playboy. And you got to be able to walk away. If you meet a man and he have more than one sister, and you meet them and they was raised any kind of ghetto or any kind of ghetto white. When I say ghetto white, that they could be rich. They could be rich and well off. But if they was raised snobby and anytime, and you have another option, you have a guy who don't have no sisters, or he got one sister and she decent, take that other option. Take that other option. Do not endure this feminine stress and pain from these women unless this man is rare and it's just your only option and he just your soulmate. Then that's when you could figure it out. If that's not the case, go about your business. Go about your business. If that's not the case, because it's not gonna be worth all that cortisol in your body and you dying early because these women are stressing you to death. And so it comes, and this stuff happened in seasons. It was a season where my wife and sister was like best friends, and it wasn't for the good. It was nothing good came of it. Nothing good came of it. Wasn't nothing but gossiping. Nothing good. So I prefer them not to talk and not to do none of that. I prefer my wife not to have a relationship with my mama and sister because they try to get close and then try to ask her for stuff. Yeah, try to throw out little hints. And my wife, she's a giver. So if she love you, she love you. She rock with you, she rock with you. Like if she, so then that make it hard on me, because where I would say no, she'll say yeah. She'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, this and that. And I'm like, child, please. So then at that point, because I love them and that's my family, if my wife is okay with it, then that means I'm gonna be okay with it, even if it's to my detriment. Like there's been times in my life, in my marriage, that, and this was early on when we was young, that I have sent our account into the negative to help my mom and my sister. Like, cause you remember we used to have the bank, they went out of business, rightfully so, Wachovia. And I had Wachovia, and Wachovia would let me go into the negative $400. So I could just go up to the ATM and pull out $400. And that's how banks use it. That's a good old day, boy. Woo! Boy, You flat broke. Imagine you flat broke. You go to the bank and withdraw 400. Yeah, Wachovia used to do that. That's why they out of business. Cause you got 1 million people do that. That's 400 million. That's 400 million. You down. You can't bounce back. And you know once we figured it out. Oh, we ran Wachovia in the ground. We ran Wachovia in the ground. That's why you don't see now Wachovia. They tried to come in being generous. You realize you can't be generous with these folks. We will wear you ragged. And so now the banks done changed to where if that account on E, you ain't swiping, you ain't diping, you ain't wiping, you ain't niping. You're not getting 1 penny over what's in that account for most of these banks. And so I remember one time explicitly that I went $200 into the negative to get them money. But what I told myself is I can make money. I could go make money. They can't go make money like I can make money. So if they in need, they in need. But guess what? In 2025, it's a new year. So at this big age, the answer is no. I set a budget of what I'm gonna give, and once I hit that budget of what I'm gonna give, it is a wrap. It is a wrap. It is a wrap. So for me, my sister, she's not married, but she have a man. I don't give a dime. If she's not living, now I do give, but it just got to be an emergency. It got to be like, but then even that is to a limit. Not gonna keep doing it over and over and over and over and over. Now, if my family is living right, they not in sin, they working, then I'll be supplemental income. I'll help on top of, and if they managing their money right, I'll be supplemental. But outside of that, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then like with my mom, I have a set budget that I give my mom. And before I would always go over. I would always, and this me at where I'm at in my life using this example, but don't take this the wrong way in the sense of like, this not for a young man who, doesn't earn like high six figures or 7 figures. So I give my mom and my mother-in-law and my dad, each of them I spend $3,000 a piece, about $3,000 a piece. I'm really about my mother-in-law probably right now about $3,500 or to $3,800, and then same with my mama, probably around about about $4,000, and then with my dad probably around about $3,000. So yes, that's a lot. It's a burden. But I also realize like it's not gonna be forever. Like they got to go home and see the Lord one day. So I do that, but that is the budget. Like that's it. My dad never asked me for a dime. That's a man. That is a man, and that's a good man. Now, a man who do drugs, a man who off his rocker, a man, he gonna ask. He gonna have his hand out. My dad has never asked me for a dime. Not once. With all the millions that he done seen me watch, he's never asked me for a dime. But my mama, she will ask from the sun up to the sun down and all through the night. And y'all, Tony, you talk about your family. Listen, me and you is not the same, so hush. Me and you is not the same. You're not a leader. You're not a servant. You're not called to talk, so hush. Every time I be telling my family business, people be like, oh, I wouldn't be telling. I hate to be your mama. My mama know me, and she know that I'm a servant. She know my story is for the world. to help other people, so you could realize that people that you look up to go through the same thing you go through, have to make the same decisions you have to make. It don't do me no good to ride in on a white horse and act like I ain't never had a problem, never had a conflict resolution, critical thinking, deductive reasoning. We all go through the same stuff. And so with my mama now, and she hit her budget, cause she'll get a lump sum of thousands, and so feeling rich, she'll go to loaning money and giving money, and then it hurt her. So guess what? Now at her big age, she having to learn the hard way how to say no, and that if she can't say no, then she gonna hear no. Pick your poison. You gonna learn how to say no, or you gonna learn how to hear no? Pick your poison. Or you gonna be living a slave all your life, borrower, servant to the lender. And so she's still almost 70 years old, still learning how to deal with money, how to handle money. And that's all of us. That's a lifelong lesson. Like, we don't be knowing how to handle money. So start today learning how to handle money. I'm still learning. With everything, all I done earned, I'm still learning how to handle money, finances, and all of that. Like, it is a never-ending thing. You either get it and you're not living life to the fullest because you get it, or you don't get it and you living up. But then when we living up, we got to go through too. When times is tough, times is rough, we got to go through. You got to deal with it. And so that's all it is. That's all it is. And so you take, and you think about that thing. You think about that thing, and you see what it's gonna be. You look and say, okay, this is what the situation is. How do I handle this situation? And whether you the man in the situation or whether you the woman in the situation. Now, if you are the woman and you are in the family, you got a man in your family, that's your son, that's your brother, and you don't like his woman, be quiet. If he's not asking your opinion, don't share it. And you also got to evaluate your heart. And you got to really ask yourself, am I jealous? Am I jealous of this woman for being in my brother's life, being in my son's life? Do I feel like she's stealing him from me? Do I feel like I can't access him the same, reach him the same? Or do I feel like I would be getting a lot more if it wasn't for her? If the answer is yes, you know that it's yes. And that's between you and God. And then that's when you got to work on you. That's when you have to heal, you have to grow, you have to change. You are the problem. Stop causing problems and realize that you are the problem and you need to grow and change. And then you make that change. Then you make that change. And you're able to build from there. Yeah, so that's that right there. I'm pulling back into my neighborhood. About to go on to him and lay back down. My wife, I stayed up last night till 2 a.m. I'm up letting her sleep. I like to listen to her sleep, and I'm just working. And I'm up working late last night, working on the building plans for the gym I want to build for Tony Gaskins Elite, and working on getting the plans done and finding different architects and things like that. Now, if you are an architect, and I'm talking about you in your bag now, I ain't talking about you just no regular smegular architect, but you really in your bag. You really in your bag now. Get a little cool out. Reach out to me. Man, you could donate a little bit of services on doing some plans on the exterior and interior of this here building I have in mind. Would love to talk to you. Or you do floor plans or what have you. Would love to talk to you. And so working on that right there. And so what I'm doing is I'm gonna get them plans, and then I'm gonna try to find the land, and then I'm gonna that's why the fundraiser, the donation link that you see in the thing is for our summer program, but then we constantly gonna be building. So not only getting through the summer program, but finding the land or finding a building that could be converted, or finding the land and then building the building, because then that'll be forever. The rest of my life, that'll be a legacy center, legacy building place where the kids can come and learn and grow and, you know, engage in sport, but also be building a brand and getting knowledge, real world knowledge. Is the man baby naked, or the baby got on a diaper at least? Man, you know, sometimes our Caucasian friends be a little interesting. I thought the baby, it's like, sir, even if it got a diaper on, it's a little chilly outside. How the baby out here, he got a jacket on and got the baby naked out here walking around doing something. I'm like, sir, why y'all outside this time of morning in the cold and the fog and the baby naked and you got on a jacket? What in the world? Calling Child Protective Services. And so working on that right there. And then my wife, she woke up this morning, you know, her throat sore. She not feeling good. Probably, you know, got a little bug from Tatum or one of my sons. And so she asked me to take T to school. And that's what she does every day. You know, I sleep till at least 8 o'clock every day, because I work late. I'll be up still researching and doing stuff while she's sleeping. And so that's her. She like to do that because she got her morning routine with them and they do their little thing. So I just, even though I would like to do it sometimes, I let her, because that's her pride and joy. So I let her handle that. I let her do that. But yeah, hey, done made it back to the Crizzle. God bless you, and thank you so much for your support and your donations. I'm always, that I could think of it, I'm gonna put that link in there and be building from there. We raised, one of my friends had a nonprofit donate 10K, and then we raised from my supporters 15K, and that really shocked the people at the fundraising site. So they wrote in trying to, they thought we was doing fraud. So I done switched to another site, because don't question me just because I'm blight. I'm gonna switch to another site. But hey, God bless you. Taylor later, what's up, buddy? You up early already now?
I woke up at 8. I woke up at 8.
Baby boy. But hey, God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.